Hey YouTube, happy Thanksgiving, and today we're going to talk about the competition in Bitcoin mining. And Bitcoin mining competition is basically based on how much the equipment is going for. And with the price, the recent price in Bitcoin shift up from, really in a month, I think it went from about 120 to about $900 the high, and then back down and then back up. So it's been going crazy. And if you haven't been paying attention to Bitcoin, if you don't know what it is, you're paying attention now just because of the profits that people are making off of it. And 10 times your money in a month's time is ridiculous. Really, as far as profits go, it's great for Bitcoin, and it's, a lot of people sometimes think I'm anti-Bitcoin, but I'm actually quite pro-Bitcoin. I trade in it. I love it. I make money off of it. So, but yeah, I just want to talk about the competition, in the pricing. It's for mining equipment. It's so expensive right now, and I think a lot of people are just banking on the fact that it's going to triple in the next month. Go from $900 to like $3,600, and that could happen. I'm not saying that it's not, but it's hard to count on that, especially when you're really trying to make a profit, and especially when the new equipment's coming out that's going to literally be render all the new equipment obsolete. And once again, people, even at these ridiculous prices, people can make a profit, but it's not much if the currency triples. And it has happened, so it's hard to say it's not going to happen, but I just don't think it's going to create a good positive effect, because I think a lot of people are going to give up if it doesn't happen. Say if it happens only in 6 months, people at 3 months are going to be like, oh man, I can't hold on to this stuff, I need cash, and it's going to affect the price down a little bit. However, I think the stability with the currency around the world, it's going to be hard to really just totally sink Bitcoin, just because there's so many people internationally now that are connected with Bitcoin. And I just remember the good old days. It was literally like 3 to 4 weeks ago, you could pick up little ASIC miner USBs for around $30 a gigahash. That's $10 each. It takes 3 of those to make a gigahash, and they were $10 a piece, which is why I predicted prices of $5 the way they were dropping in price so fast. And with the price of Bitcoin rising so fast, people were actually able to crank up the prices on these, and now they're selling for over $50 on eBay. And at $30 a gigahash, you can't even come close to that price nowadays. The only thing you're going to get close to is around the blade mining, if you use blades. However, there's some people that have blades competitively priced, but they're out of stock on them. So it's, you pretty much can't get to them. As the difficulty is set to change here, I'm not too sure when, but I'm imagining within the next week. So yeah, if you check out my little chart here, these are the prices, and these are based on eBay prices. I watch a lot of auctions and a lot of buy it now prices on eBay for this mining equipment. And as you can see, the USB ASIC miners are going for $150 a gigahash. And another piece of equipment that I'm just quite shocked because it's such a low price per gigahash is the Butterflies Jalapenos. But those are easy, and a lot of these things are really easy compared to the blades, because that's why it might attract people, because all you got to do is plug it in your computer, turn it on, and start mining. Turn on Bitminer, and it's really easy for anybody to do. So yeah, those are based at, depending on how much, they're around $500, so the price per gigahash is around 100. I've seen it as high as 112 or as low as 82. Now you got the big old Butterfly Labs, the 60 gigahash. Those were going for around 35. The prices are starting to actually fall on those a little bit with the bigger equipment, and that was at $58 a gigahash. However, I just saw them as about like $44 a gigahash. And then we have the blades that I talked about. Now this is a little bit more technical. You have to get a Raspberry Pi probably. You don't have to to do these. I've never worked with blades, so actually I don't know. But I know I've looked into it, and the price is really good, but it's a little bit more technical. However, it does say that it's rather easy. So without doing it myself, I can't really say whether it's easy or hard. But those are anywhere from, on eBay, they're more closer to $50 a gigahash. On certain other sites, you can get them as low as like about $34, $35 a gigahash. Now here's where it comes out, and this technology comes out in February, is these, like Terraminer has these big equipment that can mine as low as $3 a gigahash. So literally, I just don't understand, like, the ASIC miners. Definitely not. I think, you know, you might be able to make some money if the currency triples at $50 a gigahash, but when you can buy something for $3 a gigahash, you know, that's just really going to change the game. And that miner by Terra Miner, they literally are sold out for February. So as soon as you can buy one of those, is you can pre-order it and have one in March, and that's running around $6,000. So this is where supposedly, you know, the game's going to change, and a lot of average Joe miners are going to be out of the game unless they were in early and are going to be able to afford this really expensive equipment. So yeah, that chart that I broke down, I think the most important number to look at when you're mining, and how much, you know, it depends on how much money you have, and if you're just doing it as a hobby and you just want to, you know, get those USBs just to see what it's like, and help out the Bitcoin network a little bit, you know, those are great. If you're really serious about it and you really want to make money, you're going to have to get, you know, this big equipment. And granted, this mining equipment is mining the stuff today when the difficulty level is a little bit lower. When these new, you know, the Terra miners comes out, the difficulty is going to change by then. So it just depends. I've done some calculations, but I'm no, you know, math genius or anything like that. And I still think these are a little bit high in price. And just last night there was a little dip in price, and I saw some ASIC miners going for like 42, and like I said, the big 60 gigahash things was going for, I think, around $3,000. So the prices are coming down a little bit. So here's my prediction. Either the price of Bitcoin is going to have to go up to support all these miners for them to keep going and keep buying equipment, which could very well happen. You know, some other country could get involved and really start trading hard in Bitcoin, and that can make the price go up to, you know, about $3,000. There's a guy that runs the Bitcoin volume report on YouTube, and he says by his calculations, what he looks at in the charts, that he's saying that it should run up to about $3,000 before it dumps again. So who really knows if he's right? You know, no one really knows where the price is going to be. I can definitely believe it with seeing what we've seen so far. But at the same end, that's just for making small profits if the currency triples. So even at these prices, you know, even to make a small profit, I just think a lot of people, I think mining equipment is about to be really cheap again, because I think a lot of people are going to dump their equipment once they kind of realize this. Because once you see, you know, you plug in your first USB and you're at a lower difficulty, you're like, oh man, I can make this much money, I got to spend. And then you get by the time you get your new equipment, the difficulty changes already, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm not going to make as much as I originally thought. This is, you know, and then it changes again. So I recommend, if you're seriously going into mining, to maybe look into some of this pre-order equipment, spend the big bucks, and you'll be, you know, if you're already spending, you know, $3,500 for one of these 60 gigahash things, you might as well, you know, save that, double that, and get the 2 terahash for $6,000. I think that the money just would be spent better there. And then once these things hit the market, you know, when people start plugging in 2 terahash units at their house, or if they're running a business like a corporation that Bitcoin mines, the difficulty is just going to really change drastically, and really become a lot more difficult. So you really have up until some things come out in February, and then another wave comes out in March. So you really have up until then. So you only have a limited window. And that's another thing that's a little bit scary though with these pre-order, because Butterfly Labs did that. A lot of these companies are saying they're not going to make the same mistake. It's got to worry you a little bit when you have to put out $6,000 and just hope that it comes there, because if it's a week late, I mean, the difficulty could change and you can lose out on some serious coinage. And recently there was actually a Bitcoin mining company that went out of business. It was being supplied by KNC. However, I think they were just they were trying to lease out their gigahashes or something like that. It just goes to show you how hard it is to really do this Bitcoin mining. The positive sides for Bitcoin is the fact that there's a lot of people out there mining. Those are people out there that are talking about it, you know, perhaps trading it. That's how I started. I started mining a little bit, and then I realized it'd be a lot cheaper for me just to go buy Bitcoin. I bought in a lot at $212. I sold a lot at $700. And then I bought a lot back in at $750, so I really just should have kept on I should have just held on to it. But You know, now it's worth over $1,000 today. So that's another thing. A lot of these people going into mining, you really should just think about buying some Bitcoin and holding on to it instead of spending all this money mining it and then holding on to it. As far as prediction of prices, I definitely see Bitcoin to be worth around as much as gold, especially in the next like 6 months. I really don't expect it to go too much lower than $1,200. It's got to get there first, but I really think it can get there and it can hang out there. As far as $3,000, let's hope, you know, just buy some Bitcoin and keep your fingers crossed along with me and hope it goes to $3,000. And a lot of people can make a lot of money. I'm putting this at the end of the video, which I guess I should put it at the beginning, but you know, don't hate on me if Bitcoin goes up to you know, $3,000 and mining equipment is worth it. You know, I'm just saying right now, I just think it's a little high priced. Let me know what you think. Are there any serious Bitcoin miners out there? Have you switched over to Litecoin? What's up with the profits on that? Up to $40 now. It's ridiculous. Especially if you're in at $1. I bought a few at $1. So, you know, I wish I would have bought a lot more. But yeah. So just tell me what you think about the difficulty, you know, about the pricing of all this equipment. Do you plan to pre-order any big units? So just let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you on YouTube.